FSB Racing live Friday night, Winston Cup 88. It's Melt Minter Jr. along with Greg Bernardo, Indianapolis, Indiana, the Brickyard, and FSB Racing's best out there tonight. 25 cars. And on pole is the great Nicole Johnson, who is on a roll. 5 out of 6 races, I believe. Or 5 out of 7. Just an awesome run there. How's it going, Greg?
Going good, Milty. I thought you were going to open up with our favorite song, but I'm glad that you refrained from that. It's more appropriate for the Indy 500, of course. But yeah, great to be here. Indy 500, Indy track. This is the revamped 2008 track too, Milty. So not the default track. We've raced on several different versions of this track, so this is the revamped version.
It's still 9 degrees banking. Just a lot more eye candy.
Yeah, we're doing 64 laps here around the 2.5 mile quad. They call it a quad oval, Milty. So it's got those what we call short chutes, almost like mini straightaways in between the two turns.
Yeah, what the difference is, it's got the safer barrier there, so it does crimp up the wall a little bit, but the track dimensions are the same. It's just a little bit tighter. You got about 3 feet less there until you get to the edge there. So it's got that safer barrier, and it's got a little more modern look to the pits and everything. Yeah, it's just a really cool track.
Yeah, and we're gonna run, as I said, 64 laps? What I said? Let's take it. Yeah, 64 laps here, Milty. So 2.5 miles. So it's a good mileage race if you do the math there. Talking about 150 or so miles, 60 miles of racing tonight.
Yeah, the question is, are you going to get two questions, or are you going to get some long runs with this big field? And is somebody going to beat the 18 or the 15? Those are my two questions right off the bat.
Yeah, we heard in some pre-race talk, off the record, but now on the record, the 18 not very confident going into this race, saying propping up his teammate, though, the 6 car, who, of course, doesn't need any propping up in our book, Milty, because we see him week in and week out be a dominating car. We got a great field here, Milt. 25 cars. Matt Watkins in the field. There's the 69 of Doug Tevick. Good to see him out. There's all 3 Voodoo cars all lined up in a row, the 30, the 101, the 77. They were looking pretty good in practice. Your good friend, good pal, the 151 in the Cobra car there, Milty.
Yeah, I'm sure his buddy Nick watching again, his neighbor, and
he
watched Sky run a fine race in the Pro Cup race Wednesday night. Just got a lap down like me, and we both got a lap down there and kind of sealed our fates. But guys got him a pretty badass Ford Cobra for real in his garage, so he's representing.
So, absolutely, like, good to see that kind of thing. So yeah, as we come off through the field, there we see the 18 car Robert Bokum. Of course, Robert Bokum carrying the Apple Collision Center's Milty sponsorship of the Aero 88 series here at FSB, and always again, I believe they're people who also watch as well. So shout out to all the Apple Collision Center guys for sponsoring the series. We do appreciate that, and so does Robert and Mark DeCenza. They're also carrying the colors for him. So Boca Motorsports well represented here at the front with Nicole on the pole. And how about Ken Hansen, a fresh signing? Thor Dog Motorsports getting maybe a little coup there. Milty, care to comment on that?
Well, they already got Jim Scharf, and they're touting the young rookie who's not eligible yet, Isaac Johnson, Ryan Johnson, also a former driver here's son. But then they signed the veteran, Ken Hansen, been a veteran in sim racing for years, and is within a year and a half has solidified himself as a fine driver, a fine man, and a good member. I mean, he's done everything right. Hasn't blown it. No disrespect. No races clean, and has won a race in this division. So, I mean, you can't really come in and do better than that. You know, a lot of fast people in the world out there, but when you race at FSB Racing, you have to follow the rules, and you have to play nice. And
yeah, he's done that.
And he has
Absolutely.
done that.
And he's a real
Plus
nice guy,
contributor.
and yeah, a great racer. And I think he's going to be very happy starting maybe one of his best starting positions all season long as well. So let's see if that bodes well for him as Nicole leads the field down these canyon. This is the canyon, Milty, of Indianapolis.
Nothing like going into turn one at this track. Sim racing, or, well, like AJ Foyt said, there's, can you keep your foot on it, or
And
can you not?
Let's see if we can get these 25 cars around these first two turns. Of course, FSB rules, Milty. Outside line needs to kind of hold the outside, and inside line needs to hold their position to the inside. No passing amongst the lines. And it looks like we're coming out of one here, coming out of two, and onto the back stretch. Everyone's safe. Look at the field stream out there. Matt Watkins taking it 3 wide early on. There's the 68 Chet Larkin 40 car there. There's the 17 T-Roy, the 02. It's a gaggle of cars early on here in the back of the field, Milty. Oh, and the 40 getting a little loose there. Tapped the wall a couple times, kept it straight, no caution. 40 is slowing though, letting everyone by. I think that was a good move there. Settle the car in, make sure it's not too damaged that you spin the car. Everyone avoided him. Nice job by all the drivers there, I tell you. In this draft, you can get going, Milty.
Yeah, sorry, I had the wife asking me some questions there, so fortunately I had the mic off.
Yeah,
so, okay, now I can get back to the race here.
Ed with a little
always
tap.
stuff for me to do here.
Ed with a little tap of the wall there right in front of Matt Watkins. Matt goes low, Ed goes high. Matt completes the pass safely. The 02 going with Matt Watkins. We've seen this 02 car, Milty, showing some speed on every track he shows up at. Very impressive move there inside of Ed, and completes the pass. And it looks like he's just following Matt Watkins to the front, which is a great strategy if you ask me.
Well, he settled in and not awed by the competition. He's just kind of got caught up in some stuff, and I think he had like a self-spin himself. So definitely not, worried about the magnitude of the size of the fields, and we just got a small sample size of Dave Simons right now, and so far it's pretty good.
Yeah, it is.
We don't even know what tracks are his favorite yet, that kind of stuff.
Well,
so we're just learning about the 02.
Well, maybe we'll be talking to him after the race, and we'll realize this is one of his favorites because he's looking good right now. He has, like we said, good strategy following the FSB's best, Matty Watkins, as he comes up through the field. So we see Sam getting hanging out on the outside like Sam likes to do, Milty. But here at Indy, like you said, with those safer barriers, a little narrower, and we got a spin there. It looks like the 80 of Ed Finley's spinning down into the grass. Everyone else.
Just the Achilles heel of the 80 crew. They've been fast and qualified well, just have not been able to keep the car on the track.
And it did bring the caution out. Didn't see maybe any damage though to the car. So we'll see if he can gather it back in. And
they're obviously struggling with rear grip there or oversteer in that car.
Yeah, well, starting
because he's got the speed in a couple laps. It's just getting going. That sim racing is always I've raced 3 races this week and really got humbled. I've won lots of championships, but the the skill of this league now, better bring your A game or you're going to get passed by. And
And as the field slows here, let's see, we're on lap 5 here, Milty. Is 5 laps enough to get tires
definitely,
here?
I think at this track you got to get tires every chance you get. The only thing they'd be worried about these front cars is track position, because the history of the Winston Cup this season has been a lot of early cautions. So that might be the only thing they might say, you know what? But I know if you were in a Cup car after 5 laps, you're pitting, and you're getting 4 tires right now, So let's see what these guys do. These cars are a little easier on tires.
And you see Nicole right behind the FSB Corvette, slowing the field down here.
And they all go in.
And they're all coming
That's
in.
what I figured. It's just so much of a drop every lap here. I mean, we saw practice times in the 51s, and qualifying was in the 52s. And, every lap they're going to lose a tenth or two as they go backwards at least.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Yeah, so Nicole bringing the entire field down. And this is a tight pit road, Milty, for the size of the track, isn't it?
Well, it's long, and the pit stalls are big, but the width of the pit lane is thin.
It's an intimidating, and with 25, basically we got 25 cars on pit lane right now. We see Nicole there at the bottom of the screen, Ken Hansen right behind, Mark DeSenza, Ken Ryan, and everyone coming out. Look at this.
Well, these are professional sim racers executing in the pits. Definitely one of the many things you have to do perfect to win a race in this league.
And everyone off pit lane safely too, Milty, and that's again not easy to do. Again, like you said, this is a narrow pit lane. Too wide, you could be bouncing off that inside wall there, and you could pick up some unnecessary damage if you're not too careful.
Yeah, in 3 races I ran this week. I ran Sportsman Cup, I ran Super Speedway at Coca-Cola, and I ran the Pro Cup race. And I made no mistakes in the pits. I did not slide through my stall once. I did not speed on pit road, and I still took to the cleaners on pit road speed by the guys and gal that were just doing better. It was really humbling. It's like, man, you think you do everything right, and you're still getting beat on these green flag stops and under caution. It always matters.
Yeah, it's
like, wow, you kidding me?
You've been in your defense, Milty, you've been away a little for as far as seat time. So I'd say your assessment of all 3, I'd say you scored a pretty high grade overall. So that's, I think, what can be expected, like you said, with the quality of competition now. Just showing up isn't a guarantee of anything, much less a win, much less a top 5 or top 10 even.
And if you get in the top 10 at the finish here, you feel pretty good. Top 5, you feel real good.
Yep.
Top 3, you're ecstatic. And, of course, if you win, you're out of your mind, which
absolutely.
or I am.
I mean, a Winston Cup win is almost on par with a Pro Cup win, just because of field size. Of course, if we got a full 30-car pro field, that would be, of course, a real satisfying win. But with the smaller Pro Cup fields, to win and to take control of a race like this with 25, sometimes we've seen up to 33, I think, cars, Milty. That's a real win. When you beat 32 other drivers, you've really won a race.
Yeah, especially since a lot of these guys are starting from the back and moving forward, like we see the 15 doing again.
Yeah, and bringing up the graphic here. Matty Watkins up to 11th place, single file restart now too, which really is to his advantage, I think, because he can
Drive it into turn one
right.
with
He can
a
drive it
huge
in.
sack.
He can well, he can address each car as he gets up to him one at a time instead of some of that too wide racing we saw early on with the double file restart.
Well, another car to look for
field,
is the
though.
303, who I've managed to have constant contact with in the 3 races this week. We're always battling for 6th or 5th or 6th in these races, and he's a steady customer. He's really settled in after having a string of bad luck, which sometimes happens. All of a sudden, he's getting quality finishes. He's just looking ahead at his teammates finishing. Great drivers finishing ahead. You look at that team though; it's rock solid. But they have 9 in the Thor Dog team now. Of course, points won't be counted till next year, but that's a sweet deal there.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a great signings by the Dog there. Getting aggressive on the recruiting trail and. Behind the scenes there, it looked like Ken Hansen maybe leaning toward maybe a possible prestigious Team FSB spot. But not to be,
we
as
talked to him. I talked to him.
the Dog doing some campaigning and being rewarded with inking them.
Well, I think a lot of it is what races that Ken can run with his work schedule is part of it, because we talked and he realized, where we were looking at him going was to the top, to Pro Cup eventually, and right now he's going to settle in there at Sporty and run with Dog. Then they have a team together. Why make a team if you're not going to race with each other in a certain division, or or planning to bring in a rookie or an FSB driver up to it?
Yeah, absolutely.
That makes good sense
As we get
ready to go here too.
Yeah,
Mike Guidry, your buddy there, teammate, got a win this week, huh?
Yes, he did. Mike's a great driver, and you can see the Voodoo cars here looking good so far. After this first caution, we see the green flag comes out. Great view here with the flag stand and the starter. I really like that view there as he streams them down.
That's epic.
Very long front and back straights here at Indianapolis. With the Indy cars, it seems like they're not as long with these Winston Cup cars, not as fast. You can see how long they really are. And look at Mark DeSenza here out front, pole second. Robert Bokum third, Ken Ron appears to be in fourth here, so we got Bokum. Top 4, Bokum Motorsports, and then there's Ken Hansen, and again.
Whoa! Boy, Alan Myers got close to the wall right there.
Yeah, a little squirrely. Everyone's okay so far. Everyone's okay.
That's a voodoo sandwich right there with with an FSB.
Oh, and there's a big contact with Steve Weber. It looks like T-Roy. Yeah, we got some damaged cars here.
Caution is out.
Yeah, caution is out.
Easy, boys.
And Steve Weber looked like he took a brunt of that damage there, Milty. And we can take
Steve's had internet issues this week, but seem like they've cleared up for him.
We'll ride with Webb and see what occurred. I couldn't see the cause of it. I did know that he was in it, so as you said, Alan Myers getting a little squirrely there and toward the front of the field, but everyone seemed to recover okay from that. But almost simultaneously, once we finished up with that, I saw the wrecking toward the back of the field there, and couldn't really see what caused it though. And there we see the 72 car of Mike Pruitt.
Looks like Mike got loose there behind the 23. He came up on him real close, and I think it spooked him. so he tried to get out of it. Maybe the 23 might have got a little tight right there or whatever, but it I don't know if the 72 even made contact, but he got it sideways there and around he's going.
And with the long cautions here, we can take another look at it here. We're watching the 72 car.
Weber
you
hard
called
on
it.
The brakes like you're supposed to.
Yeah,
T-Roy too, but they did exactly. All those drivers
And then Den
were
came
on the
in
brakes.
and contact, and the 68 tried to stay. I think
Den
that's
has been so unlucky the last 3 weeks too. Haven't said much about Den because he's just gotten the shit beat out of him here the last few weeks.
And,
and Bisconer comes through, and no, was that Bisconer or the other?
I don't know if that was Chet or...
that might have been Chet. I think Bisconer was in the Pontiac, and yep, Chet would have liked to have slowed down a little bit more there.
Yeah,
Easier said than done, and looks like Bisconer gets through Smart down low, and Saska also down low there.
Yeah, and Ed was also, of course, Ed with bringing out that first caution was also back there, but I think he slowed it down enough and skated through it. We do see the 40 car is retired now as our first retiree. He hit the wall early, Milty. If you recall, he hit the outside wall a little earlier. So Richard Sapp there, some bad luck early and now retiring.
Richard's like 79, I think. He's the oldest driver in the league, and he's been doing it for a little while, but he kind of put it down for a while, but got back into it. How cool is that? It brings me hope.
Cool.
When I get old, I'll still get out there and try to compete.
Yeah.
And it's more. He's got skills. He's just learning the games, I think. So I think you're going to see the 40 get
of course,
better.
as you said, this is a high-level competition race. This is not an FSB level style race. The setup, Milty, is tricky.
It's professional.
Yes, it's loose. On cold tires, it's really loose. When you're following the draft here at Indy, Milty plays a huge role. And if you're in the draft, you gotta drive differently than if you're leading the draft. So a lot of things at play here, and like you said, plus the level of competition, Milty. I mean, the qualifying is usually just tenths of a second separating 1 through 15 sometimes.
Yeah, and you see a lot more distance in the pro races because they got smaller fields so far. It ebbs and flows. Right now, for FSB Cup and Sportsman have the biggest fields, and the pro races are small, because guys have had computer problems or have had to leave or for whatever reason. Pro's kind of small right now, so... And those races go green, so you see the difference in speed. When you got 0.2 of a second, when you run green for 3 pit stops, then you get to see the car spread out. Here, these guys got a little more of a chance because they're still
this field stay bunched here. So if you do get off to let's say a bad restart,
gotta stay in the draft.
Yeah, you can maybe get a few more chances at it than you would a Pro Cup race, where maybe one mistake can be the difference between a top 5 and finishing last in Pro Cup. Here, maybe you can get away with something, but that doesn't mean you need to drive that way. But it does mean that if there's a battle for position early, you don't have to feel like you need to protect it. You can give it up here many laps to make it up. As well, because these races are about as long as a Pro Cup race would be. So you do have the time, Milty, here to be patient.
Well, I don't think they've worked on Chet's car too long, and he still came out pretty good. I think Den's probably got more damage than that. Steve Weber, definitely. There's some hurt cars out there. Bisconer, I think, came out clean, so he's behind these cars. Pruitt, he was hurt too.
Yeah, those guys are hurt. The 43, 17, the 72, the 83, the 16, those are all involved in that incident. The 68, and you can see they're all basically following each other now in the running order toward the back of the field. the 80 Ed Finley, as we said, Milty, he kind of tiptoed through that wreck, and now he's rewarded. He jumped up ahead of about 6-7 guys there. So let's see if he can stay focused for the rest of this race and bring the 80 home with a quality finish.
Yeah, that's what we're looking for him. As an analyst, that's what you analyze your competition. That's what he's they're looking to do and build from there.
So Boca Motorsports, though, Milty, still holding those top 4 positions. Ken Hansen 5th.
Upa team.
A couple voodooers, Mike Guidry and Alan Myers.
You're watching, drivers in the making here too, and teammates getting to know each other, and especially the Voodoo team has just been together this year, so they're starting. And you got Alan Myers and Guidry's really been a surprise.
Yeah, they're both
really good.
They're both capable of winning, especially in their own division. They're in FSB division. They're capable of winning any race they show up at. And I believe they're definitely capable of winning a Winston Cup race if everything goes, their way. And that's what sometimes you need. You need the brakes on these big fields as well, And let's see if they can do it. I'd love to see it happen. Trust me. And we're under green again, and Mark DeSenza will lead them down. Nicole second, Robert third, and Ken Ron. Team Bochum, top 4. Ken Hansen 5th. See if Ken wants to crash this party at the front here. And as Robert Bochum told us early, Milty, this is not going to be up there at the front at all. And here he is just cruising in third, it looks like. So
don't BS a BS.
Yeah, and I know if he's listening to this, come on, man. Let's see you drop back a little and at least make it look good.
He was he was laughing even when I was making fun of him, because he knew he was laughing because I'm going to say this on the straightaway so he don't crash.
Yeah, now he's got to be careful here. He's getting a little loose out of the corners, and Sam and Matt Watkins there are hungry. You got 2 hungry pros behind him there, and got to stay focused here and keep the car underneath him.
Well, 2 guys that are hungry are the 2 guys that got hosed at the start last week and got disconnected, and that was the 9 of Ken Hansen. And Sam goes down low there, and the 88 of Joe Cutter. They both survived getting bounced down a lap at the start this time, so now they can race, And
there you see the 98 pushing the 15 down the straightaway there. And by the 101, they both get by. So nice job by Sammy there, pushing Matt Watkins there. And that's a Monsoon Team FSB cooperation there, co-opetition, as DW says, Milty. And there it was right there with Sam pushing Matt ahead.
Well, Sam, works a lot. He's had a lot of times when he runs races, he's either got to leave right after. Matt too sometimes. They work is kind of you always got to work comes first. And a couple times I know Pro Cup race he ran a couple laps and parked it and wondered why, but he said I was just damn tired, man. I had to go to bed.
yeah. I mean, these this is for fun, and sometimes obligations come up unexpectedly that have to take priority over this, for sure, Milty. And the fact that they can devote an hour and a half, 2 hours time, we appreciate it, especially to make a great broadcast like we got the makings of here with this great field and some great racing so far here. Matt Watkins really showing some patience here, and
the leader's in line back
here. And Mike Guidry's got a spin here. We got a spin, Mike.
Okay.
I think he kept it off the wall too.
Cars are slowing down. They slow down a little more, folks.
Yeah, we got to be careful here. Don't want any rear ending. And now a lot of these cars may not have taken the caution yet, Milty, in this huge track. And some may have, so this can be...
Danny Sullivan moved there for Mike Guidry. And he takes off going.
He did. And
no wall, no harm, no foul.
we see
Still
the,
on the lead lap.
The caution flag is waving here.
And that's what he needed. He'd have been screwed otherwise, but... Well, you know, it's like my dad used to say. It's like throwing a baseball. If you throw it sidearm, you let go of it early, it goes to the right. It's just like when you're spinning like that, he stayed on the brakes, and he made the car go straight instead of veer to the left or right. And then when it slowed down, he got off the brakes, and it turned right around. That was a nice save. A lot of talent through up and down this league.
Yeah,
right
let's take a look at that one more time, Milty.
I need a bucket. I'm going to throw up. He was spinning like a top.
Oh, and there was some contact there with Sammy, it looks like, Milty. And great job by Mike keeping it off all the walls. There was contact amongst the cars, but no wall damage from either of them. And I don't know if I'll have to take another look at that, Milty. I don't know if Mike knew Sam was making a move there on the inside or not.
Okay. Yeah, he stayed on the brakes and then got off it, and wow.
And looks like actually...
Joey Chitwood, that's how it's done right there. What spin? I didn't spin.
When we look at it in slow-mo here, Milty...
Sam kind of got into him there. I mean, if I'm Sam, I'm taking that one as my fault, because Mike can't go any higher right there. What, you know, what... Except for the wall.
When we slow it down, it looks like Sam pushed up a little and caught Mike right in the rear. Mike does a full 360 spin, and then boom, gasses it, gas and go. And what a nice job there, man. That's showing off.
Yeah, it is. Well, it's a little bit of luck too, but it's also awareness of where you're at, because it's amazing, you know.
Let's ride with him here from this view. You see the spin.
Off the brakes, on the brakes, off, on the brakes, and then step on the gas. He knew right where it was, and when he was coming around, he knew his spin speed was going to take him right straight. He corrected. You can't do that by accident. I'm sorry, you can't.
Go back live. You see, he came in, got four freshies, and he's out in the way, and he's in about 11th position.
Danny Sullivan right there. Except Danny Sullivan spun on his own.
Only about a 4-position loss, Milty, for that. So, yeah, that's coming out pretty good. Great driving there.
Well, look at pit road there. Gee, wow.
And look, sneaking into the top 10, Milty. Team FSB, 69 car, AC Delco Chevy, Doug Tevick.
Yeah, he's looking for, this is his kind of track right here for ovals. He likes these tracks like this, and he might say he hates it, but he's doing well.
It looks like Doug might have a little damage there on the right rear quarter. What do you think?
I don't know. I'm looking at it here to see if we get I'll get a live view from get up real close there. It looks a little cockeyed, doesn't it?
And you know, looking at the 101, nice and smooth back then. And we see Doug. It looks like a little boat. It's like a little bowed out, like maybe he was rear-ended. And it pressed in everything.
Just a little bit there, yeah.
So Doug was maybe a
Notice the wing is a little cockeyed too. I think it's supposed to be straight right there.
We're seeing as we scroll through the field there, yeah. So let's see if that affects him at all. But Doug has been making some steady progress. And yeah, good to see Doug out here competing with a big field here.
Yeah, he's kind of like me. He picks and chooses races when he's got time, without life, you know, and feels in the mood. That doesn't always pick tracks that he's really good at. Of course, he does focus on road racing, which that's where he is a stud, you know.
I did hear that the O2 here that we're looking at of Dave Simons did have to pay some royalties to Matt Watkins to put that Nintendo on the rear deck lid there.
Well, who's gonna pick that guy?
Matt Watkins camp will not confirm that a check had to change hands before that Nintendo. everything was laid down. And so we'll have to check with Matt later.
We got to look and see if Monsoon's got cap room, because otherwise, knowing Matt Watkins and Guy and Steve Weber, they're going to try to pick up a car that can run like the O2. And man, you get into that wealth of information.
Wow, who knows where you can go?
They got it all written down.
Yeah, and there we see Matt Watkins, Donkey Kong, and here right behind his good buddy, competitor, equal in many respects, Robert Bocum. They always seem to be together, whether it's 1-2 or 6-7. They're together, and we see some cars peeling down pit lane here as well. And there you see how narrow this is, Milty. You know, if there's contact here on the front stretch, it can turn into a mess. Of course, as we said, Apple Collision Center sponsoring Aero 88 series here. There's Nicole there, sticking right behind teammate Mark DeSenza, right ahead of Robert Bocum, Johnson Truck Lines.
Yeah, and then more problems for the 98. He ends up back in 19th out of that deal, and the 30 ended up in 10th there. So
lights are out on the pace car, so we're going down the backstretch. We'll be green flagged shortly. Bad boy Mark DeSenza. Bad boy Mark DeSenza. You like that? How's that roll off the tongue, Milty?
Yeah, it's hard to know if he's really like that. I mean, because he's so mellow, you know. He's real mellow. You know what I mean? Kind of like myself. And but he's also a fierce competitor. Probably on his Team channel, he's probably a little more animated. But in public, he's just cruising, along, even when he has a bad day. But make no mistake, he's kind of tired of finishing second here.
Well, he's leading the field right now. He's look pretty comfortable up front.
And this is his favorite track too. So.
Well, and then so he has
Did we mention that?
He has some added incentive to do well when you're on your favorite track. Pace car should be peeling off momentarily. He'll lead us down, and we'll be back to green flag racing at lap 21 of 64. So about a third of the way through this race here. So still a lot of racing left. We'll watch the flagman slowly bring this field down, and then we'll wave. And here we go.
Yeah, it's a weird, you're rolling to that green flag. You're going so long, it does you can get caught off guard if you're not careful.
Of course, again, no passing to the backstretch here. So as they go through one in the short chute and into two, everyone needs to follow the leader here. Now we can start the passing as they come out onto the backstretch.
Well, you might, if you're new to this or you raced in other leagues with her, you might think, I don't like that. But you really, when you notice, you're not seeing these guys crash in the first corner. So at least they're getting going. That was something we just decided was what we wanted, If they're going to crash, at least. Doug goes wide, too.
Yeah, and Ken Hansen went for a wild ride. How he kept that thing from spinning. And you'll see that in just a bit there, but wow, Ken, great job there. We stay green, unfortunately, so he'll lose a ton of positions and track position as well.
But, I think these cars are,
I'm telling you, it's a tough setup here.
And he was around 3 cars too, so I'm sure they took the downforce off him right there.
Absolutely.
That's of course a great save there, and he gets back in line and has track awareness over and over again. He's been a winner this year, but you also, when you test the character of drivers, you see how they do when things go bad, and he always seems to handle it well.
Absolutely, he does. Mark DeSenza continuing to lead, but Matt Watkins slowly creeping toward the front
Yellow
here
flag
in third.
is out.
And we do have a caution out, and checking to see.
Looking at the cars here and see what happened.
Don't see any. Can't say I see any smoke or anything either. I don't see any.
Yeah, I see smoke coming out of turn 4.
Yeah, now I do too. Well, let's see here. We're seeing that the 80 has retired, Milty.
Yeah,
so,
let's take a look at him.
It might have been Ed with a spin, and
looking back, Ed goes way wide, and let's see here.
and he's
Yeah, he was trying to get out of the way, and he goes way wide
and looped
right
it.
in front of Chet and Ken Soska. They had nowhere to go.
And Chet, that's 2 hard hits by Jen. Everyone else, Milty. And there's Steve Weber, who's also had some bad luck, and there's Sam, who came to a complete stop. And it looks like Sam might have avoided the damage there, Milty, but he had to come to a complete stop. So the caution, of course, saved Sammy there from losing a ton of distance, but safely through. But Steve Weber's car is looking ugly.
Yeah,
as
Joe Cotter. Well,
these
you know
are
what?
some beat-up looking cars now, Milty.
But you're seeing these guys all stop. Every one of those cars were hard in the brakes. They weren't trying to be cold trickle and drive through the smoke. So that was good damage assessment by a lot of cars that are saving themselves with just putting on the brakes. You know.
Absolutely, yeah, and could have certainly been.
So they're all down pit road
there.
again.
So again, another caution here, Milty. Lap 24 of 64. Closing in on 40 laps to go, and really no real flow to the race just yet.
Yeah, you know, the flow is for these guys is the ones that aren't getting in these crashes, you know, and they're just driving laps right now, and they're gaining positions just by cars crashing or pit stops. Doug Tevick up to third there, just kind of, you know, but we'll have to see if he got bashed in the rear there a little bit. But a lot of these cars, we'll have to see how it on the next lap when they recyclate here, what happens too. But it looks like everybody pitted. You got to pit. 3-4 laps, man, you still got to go, especially with all these crashes. If you're down like 20th, you got a good car, you might take a chance, but you're just probably going to get zinged, you know.
Well,
so much disparity.
Looked to me that the 6 and the 5 elected not to stop. Doug up to third.
Well, he must have not stopped either. Then maybe they stopped behind him.
Yeah, I think a few cars electing not to stop here, Milty.
Well.
Just 3 laps really on the tires, so not a bad idea. Ken Hansen elected to stay out as well.
But they will, if this goes green, they will suffer, and you'll see it. But yeah, absolutely. So far, it hasn't gone very far without a caution.
I think this is the proper gamble at the proper time here.
Right. I agree.
The way the race has been a little disjointed, you may only go 5-6 laps, get a caution. Then then you can maybe solidify your track position if you can get enough laps to make everyone come in.
Absolutely.
But
yeah, because if caution comes out again,
yeah, then you're going to be the one on the losing end possibly.
Because the other guys are going to
stay out. Right, and either forces you now to stay out on certainly older tires.
Yeah, you're pretty smart.
Yeah. I'm just not the one that has to make the decision because I'm usually already out of the race or damaged enough that it doesn't matter. But so the 69. So basically the 6, 5, 69, 23, and the 9. All these cars electing to stay out. Robert Bochum, Matt Watkins did come in Matt Watkins showing in 9th, Robert Bokum 10th, Mike Pruitt showing in 8th, Dog Palmer in up to 7th.
Yeah, if you're back there a little bit, or even like for Dog, he wanted to get track position.
Absolutely.
So with those
So,
other guys like Matt's going,
yeah,
okay,
team,
I'll come out in 9th and with freshies.
Yeah, Team Dog there, Melty, 2 in the top 10. Actually, 3 in the top 10. Jim Sharp, Dog, and Ken all in the top 10.
Well, those 2 guys he signed are going to help him because he's really going to be like the rookie of the 2. You know what I mean? He's going to be the owner. He's the owner. However, he just hired 2 guys that are going to help him. That's what you do when you own a team. You know?
It seems to be maybe.
That's how my dad got a bunch of rides. You know.
This is one of those things that maybe paying. You get that team joining the team boost, and maybe this is it right here with Jim Sharf there now up to 3rd, Ken up to 4th. So Thor Dog Racing 2 in the top 5, and Dog moving up to 6th.
Team FSB pitting together. Sam and looked like just gas and go for the 98 or a penalty. I don't know what the heck that was. 4 tires for the 69.
Yeah, not a surprise there. Doug was one of the cars that stayed out for a bit.
He didn't feel comfortable being up there like that. That's what you do.
No, and then maybe that can pay dividends as well. Let's see what happens.
The 6 and the 5 are just starting to get going after 3 laps.
Yeah,
so they weren't.
So we'll see if how Ken. Now remember, Ken had a little spin out there, so the tires got a little taxed maybe from that spin.
Well, Damien Gottstella used to tell me, under caution, don't swerve the tires. I do it anyway because I think it looks cool, But especially at Indy, he says you can wear your tires out under caution at Indy, and he meant it, So, and he won a few races here, so a few championships. So
yeah, guess he knew what he was talking about.
Guess he knew what he was talking about.
Yeah,
I just didn't listen very
good. Pretty good iRacer too, all-around racer.
And also did the Gran Turismo 5 and missed the top 16 by 1, which the top 16 went and drove real race cars, and the guy that won ended up finishing 2nd in the 24 Hours of Le Mans in the P2 car. So Luis Gonzalez. So.
Yeah, pretty cool.
Yeah, he was pretty close. PlayStation does that shit,
Mark DeSenza still our leader. He'll lead us down. Green flag is back out. Green flag back out on lap 28.
Doug's way back with the dogs there in last place.
Yeah, let's see if that late move into pit road helps him out with the long run if it stays green. He does now have the freshest tires in the field and the most fuel, so let's see if Doug can make a long run pay off.
Gets loose, and Ken Ron just barely avoids him. In the back there was some drama, but they sorted out.
And looks like we're staying green. We see Guy Petra and Pat Rouchet side by side. And Pat getting a little loose. It's you can get a little loose as cars get side by side here, Milty. It's tough to pass at Indy, despite the length of the track. It's not the easiest straightaways to pass because they're so narrow. Let me see the O2.
I got distracted by the baseball game. Sorry.
Mike Pruitt with some serious damage there. Giving up the position to Dave. There was the 18
Steve
Robert
Weber
Slocum.
too is just beat the shit, man. I don't know how he's holding on to that thing.
Matt Watkins on the back bumper of Doug Palmer there, and Matt Watkins, nice turn in. You see Matt's car working really well right now. He's able to really turn the car down and then accelerate off just like you would if you were floating it more toward the outside, and that gives him that speed. And you can see just when made a nice move around Palmer, and he'll move up one and check it off the list and keep on moving back up. And Ken Soska there, Ken Hansen, Jim Scharf, all wadded up together in front of him.
Pat Richey, he really wants to go, and he was right behind the damaged 72. But 72, Mike Pruitt is still fast, but he's pushed in. Now he's hooked in behind Guy Pitra, and they make the pass there.
Yeah, very nicely done there. Drafting at Indy does play a factor. Yeah, Joe Cutt trying to join the party as well, and looks like Mike Guidry as well, trying to hang on to this draft. And you can hang on to this draft here, Melty, and it can pull you along if you hit it just right.
The draft is huge at this track, and a lot of these big tracks from a mile and a half up, it tows you on the straightaway. Once you get behind in the long run, it's hard. And Pat Richey is just stuck to the 151.
And we see the 0-2 of Dave Simons trying to make an inside move on Robert Bokum, but the car got really loose there. Did a little drifting around the corner there almost.
He's ready to show what he can do.
It did look like looked like he kept the foot down on the gas there and just dirt tracked it around the corner. But Robert Bokum was able to hold on to that position. Now they both go by the 23. Jim Scharf, who got up a little high there. So Robert Bokum also moving towards the front.
You got to get offline to pass unless you can pass on the straightaway. That's the best place to pass into turn 1 and turn 3. You can also get them coming out of the corner, but that you can get loose there, and you really use your tires up when you make that move.
Here we see our top two, Mark DeSenza and Nicole Johnson, 1-2, and they've really separated from the field, who's been battling tooth and nail, and they just drove away from everyone right now.
Whoa, Scharf down low.
Down low, kept it together. The 151 going up high, and he'll make the pass. 77, trying, like you said, was
he lost the draft right there. Scharfy did.
And like you said, the 77 was trying to
Whoa! 0-2 looking down low on the 108. Dog is not going to give that up easily there. He's managed to hold track position here in the top 7 here. Excuse me.
Yeah, the 0-2's pressure, and then the 151 is really moving up fast. So Guy Petra's car coming alive here.
Yeah, you can't expect them to get out of the way. They're racing. That's what you do. You keep dogging. And Dog, speaking of that, Dog gets a little loose, a little tire smoke there. Caught it very nicely. But this pressure is wearing on the 108.
You see them all lining up and stretched out down that back straightaway. Now Watkins leading this group. They're all trying to run down the top two.
Dog
there
is
they are, and there you see the lead.
This is a hometown race.
Built up, yeah. Kind of.
Yeah, Ellie's drove his van with his hand controls. You know, he drives with his hands, and he's driven his van around this sucker, man, years ago.
Yeah, I heard he got loose in turn 3, but kept it together and qualified, I think, third.
Whoa, boy, Simons is really putting it on him there. That's how you do. You show, get back in line, because you got to make the apex in the corner.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now he gets a run, and boy, this guy.
Oh, and Sammy's around.
Race back to the line, but they got to think about it. Is it in front of the leaders or not?
Sammy looks like has retired out of the race. Looks like there was contact with the 23 car possibly there.
And the Bokum cars with 3 laps on their tires just pulled away from everybody. No harm, no foul. Now they'll pit.
Taking another look at that.
How hard the competition is, as fast the stud as Sammy is. He was pushing there, trying to keep up.
And Sammy just got loose on his own and collected the 23 into the outside wall. And
man,
yeah, just
another tough night for Scharf too. He really has kept it clean.
Yeah, it looked like he was.
The Dodgers lose. Sorry.
see the cars taking the caution. Caution out on lap 35, so we did get about 9 laps of racing in there before that caution. So this is where that consolidation of position could have paid off. Now Watkins in third now with the fresh tires, so now everyone should be pitting with that 10-lap run there, Melty.
Yep.
We see
interesting to see how much the 23 got damage on that one, but probably probably gonna have to try to fight for a top 10.
We see the field slowly creeping down pit road here. Mark DeSenza leading them down. Now Watkins in.
Well, you see Watkins, how he turns his wheels right there and points his car out so he gets a good exit.
And Dave Simons, it looked like overshot his pit, Milty.
Yeah,
I saw him backing up there.
That's going to hurt the O2.
Yeah, and so did Guy Petra. Guy Petra sliding through the pit slightly.
Well, he tried to do what Matt did, which I try to do too, but if you get too angled,
and there we see Matt Watkins coming
past
out.
The lines, they will not. You have
Mark
to back it up.
Oh, and there's
three wide.
Looked like contact there, maybe with Robert Bokum and Ken Ron coming out of the pits, Milty.
Close for Doug Tevick too, but he heard a spotter going outside and took a look and let the outside car go by because he had a car inside and outside of him.
And everyone has to play follow the leader now out of this access road, which is mandatory, Milty. If you jump out onto the track, you do get black flag there. You see everyone slowly streaming out of the pits. Matt Watkins.
Buscana got a point there, leading the lap.
Yeah, that's a good way to get a point there and lead a lap. Lap 36 now, so we're just a little past halfway of the race. .29 laps to go.
You're still going to have to split that into two or go as far as you can. You can't make it in one tank.
Yeah, and of course cautions could decide a lot of this as
16 or
they
18 with these cars.
Absolutely, the cautions of course could be deciding a lot of your decision making. If we get another 10-15 lap run and another caution, of course everyone will be coming in regardless of the situation. If it does stay green, then decisions will have to be made. You can't cut the difference, split it in two and just pit on that number. And risk, maybe a caution coming out, and you get in try. Of course, Indy, Milty is a big enough track. If you're not too far behind the leader, you could pit, get 4 tires and fuel, and come out and not lose a lap here. So if a caution does come out and you finish your service, everyone else pits, you stay out, and you can make a big gain there too.
Well, this is when it gets within about 15 laps, it starts getting interesting because tire wear is huge. Is it going to stay green? Do you want to get caught out? Our guy's going to take a chance and pit early. That's a no-brainer on Wednesday night, but in Pro Cup. But you got to stop when you're in your window. But I don't know. This race has had a lot of caution, so I think these guys are going to stay out and wait for the next one right now.
Yeah, Milton, the 6 car, I think, might have got a speeding penalty and a EOLL violation because he led the cars off pit lane, and now he is way back in, let's see, where is he? 19th position.
Didn't come out on the scanner here. Let's see. Let's take a look. Heel on the scanner. The 6, and he said he did it 6 times, or 5 times. So he obviously is not too happy.
No, I'm sure he's not happy. He was the leader of the race, so leader no more. Matt Watkins.
God, these things have just killed him this year. These little stupid things like this, or getting wrecked, or or running out of gas, he's always right there at the front. And I'm sure he'd say the same thing. God, I got to complete the deal here.
Well, now he's going to have certainly a task ahead of him. Lights are out on the pace car. Mal Watkins, our leader. Ken Hansen recovering from that little snafu earlier. Back up to second. Nicole in third. Nicole's been at the front of the field all race long. First, second, or third now. Robert Bokum fourth. And Ken Soska with a good run. Milty, he was one of those cars that did not pit. Managed to keep the track position and then
he might
consolidated it to a nice fifth place run here.
Though.
Well, he held his ground in that last run, so he did what he accomplished to do. Dog in sixth, Ken Ron seventh, Guy Petra up to eighth. The 88 of Joe Cutt now breaking the top 10. Milty. Joe Cutt up to ninth, and the 30 of Mike Guidry.
Do what he do.
Also battling back from that spin with in contact with Sam earlier in the race. He's battled back to a 10th place position so far, so good job there by Mike. There's the 02 of Dave Simons in 11th, Pat in 12th, 77, Pat Rocher in 12th, Doug Devick 13th, Allen's in 14th. And we're getting to some of these cars that had some damage earlier. T-Roy, Steve, Mike Pruitt, 68, Chet. There's the 6 car in 20th position, Milty. So he's going to really have his work cut out for him now.
Still a lot of time here passing. He needs some green flag runs to do what he do, of course, with less air on the front, it's a little different just to move up.
Look at all those cars he's going to have to pass as they stream down. And there's the green. It goes from yellow to green. And Matt Watkins are leading under green for the first time. He's led a couple laps there right on that caution. But Matt Watkins, our new leader. Ken Hansen second, Nicole Johnson third, and Robert Bokum fourth. So let's see what Matt does here from the front. If he's going to try to pull away or if he's just going to run his race. Low Ken wants to lead laps. He's hungry. And we see some contact again in the back of the field, Milty. And it was with Mark DeSenza, it looks like. And I can't tell if that's, I think that's Chet.
Still green.
Yeah, we're still green, but my
Simons got hurt real bad in that pit stop.
The 68 of Chet Barkin and the 6 car of Mark DeSenza had some contact, and the 68 got the worst of it, but Mark lost a bunch of track position. You can see he's way behind the field here. So again, Milty, you called it. Went to the back, and now another mistake by Mark DeSenza.
Yeah, it's hard getting through the field.
I know he's frustrated here, and we see the 30 of Mike Guidry bounce off the wall, and there's a 72 going for a spin.
Oh! Big wreck.
And
that was a hard hit for the 72.
72. Yeah,
he might have a concussion out of that bad boy.
Caution is out. And I think Mike's already retired out of the race as well now. Car was beat up. We'll take another quick look at a lot of Fast and Furious action going on. And again,
Pruitt just lost it. Once you get out in that gray, boy, and he bounced off the wall and came down. Oh, and Scharf got a piece of him.
And hard contact to the front of the car by Mike Pruitt.
Yeah, Scharf has been a poo-poo magnet.
And again, the 6 of Mark DeSenza avoiding any damage there, but the perils of the back of the field very pronounced for Mark. So I think he's going to stay out and hope some bunch of people pit now because he needs the track position back.
Well, Nicole, while this was going on, Nicole was trying to beat the 15 back to the line. And it did not happen. But she was right there, and so was Ken Hansen. They might have something here. Teammates, no teammates. I think Hanson's going to try to go. Of course, now it's still a long way to go. 23 laps, and you still can't make it from here. So, but you almost, what do you do? It's been a few laps. Do you stay out and expect another one? A couple of cars that were damaged are gone now. You could get a green flag run here, and you'd be turkey meat if you stayed out.
Yeah, we can see there has been 5 cars that have retired, so 20 cars all on the lead lap here, though, Milty. So when you do pit, you lose a lot of positions because no one's a lap down with Big Indy here. It's hard to lose a lap unless you really get some damage. And we can see about half the field is elected to pit. Matt Watkins, Nicole, Ken Hansen did not elect to pit. Let's see who did elect to pit.
Saska.
Robert Bokum, Ken Ron.
Dog right there in the top 5. He's like, I'm doing what they're doing. Screw this.
The 30 of Mike Guidry's in. All the Voodoo cars are in. Back. Jim Scharf is in. T-Roy's in. Some of the damaged cars limping in. The 68, the 23. These guys are soldiering on. And I'm sure the cars are handfuls. They're handfuls when they're in perfect condition to start a run. I'm sure with some spoiler missing, bumpers missing, hoods bashed in, they're real handfuls.
Well, this is what you got to do now. You throw the dice roll, even though you don't have to pit again. These guys pit now if they get a quick caution. The other cars, as long as they're not in the fuel window, which is about 16 or 18, I think, they could stay out. So, but that's with a quick caution. Might as well roll the dice, and somebody's got to beat the 15 or the 8.
Yeah, well, the 15 and the 5 and the 9 have all elected to stay out.
Well, they've got such good downforce there at the front, and they've also got drivers. They know what they're doing. They're just staying in line, and they don't have the carnage behind. So that's not a bad move either, especially with just a few laps on the tires.
Yeah, 23 laps.
I think it was 29 when we went, or 28. So you only got five running laps or so on your tires. It's
now 22 to go for the field. Lights are still on, so looks like we'll be going green with 20 to go, Milty. So 20 to go if you're these top front cars. You obviously can't go to the end. No one can, like you said. And if it does stay green, if you're the front running cars, do you pit early here?
Well, no, I think you stay out as long as you can, and then pit when the next caution comes out, because right now you just got to think that, But then again, like a lot of damaged cars have retired, so it could all of a sudden string out and go green. That's what the fans want to see, some drama. Whoa, Guy Pitra. I think he fell asleep there.
Yeah, almost got into the back of the dog there, but you see the dog, a big gap there.
Dog might have punked him there a little bit. Like, get up my rear, boy.
Hey, a little brake checking going on, which we don't encourage, which I didn't see happen. So, wouldn't say dog wouldn't do something such an ornery thing like that. But maybe
he's got his mama watching as usual every week, and she's watching him running the top 5 late in the race. And
that's right. Mother Palmer enjoys watching her son battle for positions, and that's what he's doing. He's making her proud right now because where is he in the run? He's top 5 right now.
He's top 5 right now,
and I think
and he's held it there.
Absolutely,
I mean, the evolution of him is just. And you see a lot of times, guys that just suck up the information and are willing to practice, test, and develop their talent. And he's been around aviation, was a weapons officer on the F-4 Phantom in the service. So I mean, he's he likes speed and things that go fast and blow up.
He has the need for speed.
Absolutely.
Lights are out on the pace car. Matt Watkins our leader, Nicole second, Ken Hansen third. The Ken and Ken show at the front here. Ken Hansen third, Ken Toska fourth. So Ken, the car looks pretty clean too. So I don't know if he did get damaged. Maybe the crew patched it back together. And
well, the view I saw was a long distance. I saw a green car. It might not have been him. I thought it was him that got in a little damage in one of those wrecks before, but I've been wrong before.
There's the dog, Guy Petro right behind him. Joe Cutt with a good run going right now. Joe Cutt up to 7th. Joe Cutt slowly. He was up to 10th, then he was up to 8th, and now he's up to 7th.
He's a Mark Martin type of driver, man.
He's just slowly creeping up the field.
That's how he do. He's always been that way, and if he don't get wrecked, you always see him in the picture at the end of the race.
Yeah, I like to see it. I like to see him running those colors too. It looks nice.
Oh yeah, heck yeah, the Wrangler colors, the late great Dale Earnhardt Sr.'s colors,
Yeah, absolutely, and Dave Simon.
I saw that car run at Riverside. You probably did too. Both of us about the same age, going to Riverside International Raceway. I saw him run that car.
Yeah, some good memories. So, Milty, we will have 20 to go when we go to green.
Dale Jr. won the nationwide race at Daytona, I think, or Talladega, in that same car with the number 2. They put the number 2 on, and he drove for Childress that one race, and he won the race. And I was crying,
Yeah, there's a lot of emotion there with the Earnhardts, and Dale Sr.
He was definitely my dad's favorite stock car driver, as they go green.
As they go green, and Mal Watkins, FSB's favorite stock car driver, leading them down. Nicole and Ken.
Don't get calm.
Yeah, Nintendo getting a lot of free airtime here, like they need it. Looked like we had the blue car getting a little out of shape there, and got up a high and caused a little traffic jam there.
It's time to go. I mean, but you're pushing.
69
it's awful hard
car saying it's time to go, and he's going. And so is Mark DeSenza, Milty.
There you go, son. Well, once you get forced to the outside like Dave did there, you have to give the spots up, and and that's all part of learning how to race with these great drivers, and I did the same thing, in the races I ran this week, where you're trying to keep up, and once you get to the outside, though, they go bam, 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 and they ain't waiting for you. You got to give it.
And we're seeing this 3-car parlay right here. Dog, Guy Petro, Joe Cutt, really
DeSenza
driving hard there. Yeah, Mark DeSenza driving like a beast. Now let's see if Doug can just stay in his tire tracks and follow him back up to the front, because Mark's driving like a man possessed right now, Milty. He wants this race, and falling back and getting that EOL is fueling that fire right now, big time. And
a multiple champion at CC Racing, and then when that league went. Changed names, went to some other owners. He came here and is just latched on. And me and him used to race because we were all friends with the owner of the other league, Dan Smith, and with Jim Ray. So we fought around back and forth, and it'd be like, man, if I had to race this guy on a regular basis, I wouldn't have gotten as many wins as I did back in the day.
We're looking at our top 3 here,
and now look at him.
Everyone,
he's way past me.
Everyone is kind of fallen in line here, so maybe we are going to get some green racing finally. Matt Watkins and Nicole Johnson are battling.
Gotta be patient.
Nicole really pressing hard. Ken Hansen.
So hard to pass here. It's really difficult to pass here.
Yeah, Ken, I think Nicole looked like she was going to think about an inside move there, thought better of it. Stays behind Matt Watkins.
Oh, boy.
Ken, I think, is just waiting for her to make that move.
Dog and Saska side by side. Look at Dog down below there.
Whoa, and a little loose.
Dog for fourth there. Great pass there.
And here comes Mark DeSenza carrying Joe Cutt, Guy Petra, and Doug towing along with him. And they're all going to go around the 7. And this is, again, Milty, you got to take your medicine. If you're the 7 car here, you got to take your medicine and get right behind and get the racing
right
again. Don't fight it here, or you might end up in the wall.
Because you get back in line, and then you're in that draft pack, you know, and then you get a push.
He ducks in front of the 69, and now Doug right on the back bumper of the 07. And let's see if Doug makes a move to the inside here.
You know, a year or two ago, you watched the 108 in this position, and you know he wasn't ready for it. But now he is, you know.
And now
he's worked to this point and had some good battles and knows how to run his line. He's not worried about what they're going to do right now. I think he's also realistic. If they get a move on him, he's developed enough of car awareness that he's probably not going to throw away a top 5, but he's in the top 4.
Well, Mark DeSenza's coming, and I don't think he's going to worry about what Dog's thinking. He's taking care of business right now, and he just dives down low and takes the position. Now, Dog, let's see if he can fight back. Joe Cutt.
Yeah, he needs to try to get in line there, but see, that was good awareness by Joe because he backed up and he was patient. Now he gets the run going inside and makes the move.
And it's very tight side by side, but Dog fighting on the outside here down the short chute.
But that's fantastic driving. Even when you're getting past, that's when if you don't know what you're doing, you crash. You know.
And now the 151 and 69 are getting down a inside run here, and let's see if they're going to draft by him. They run out of real estate and have to follow in line. Some great racing here.
Man. That's really professional sim racing right there. It's come so far in just a few years, no matter what happens.
Yeah, some great racing here amongst, let's see, where is this racing taking place? This is 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th positions. And these guys are fighting tooth and nail here. 14 laps to go.
I mean, there's
it's go time, no doubt about it. We're in the
there's
teens
a half
now.
a 4/10 between 2nd and 3rd. There is a hell of a race up front with Nicole, however.
Yeah,
I want to take a look at that.
Yeah, we're joined back up. Ken Hansen in 3rd, Nicole in 2nd. Mal Watkins continuing to lead, but Nicole has not left the rear bumper of Matt Watkins by maybe a foot since the green flag, and I think she's just.
Well, we had a talk a couple weeks ago.
Pressing the 15 to make a mistake, and that might be a long time.
I was like, girl, man, you just chill just a little bit, and you can beat these guys every week. She is so talented; it's just unbelievable, and she's gotten in a rhythm this week, and she won like 4 or 5. How many races you win this week?
I've lost count.
In all the divisions, all different types of racing. And here she is again.
Yeah, the form
like
is basically every series.
Being patient, she's being patient and just dogging him, you know.
Every series is littered with Goodwin, Nicole. So I don't know. I couldn't count anymore. But a bunch of races won. A bunch of races, maybe you could say she could have won as well, Milty, if you had them all.
Well, she broke like 3 fingers in the race. She was racing with me because she uses a hydraulic simulator, which rips you all around and rips the wheel out because it's like a real car, you know. And she like broke her, started bleeding, you know, in the racing seat. And from then on, she's been driving like for a week with one hand and
winning races. Yeah.
Well, she's a real talent, and
she's
got some real racing, you know, possibilities. But who knows, you know? Just like Robert Bokum, he's aspiring, trying to do real racing stuff. So we have sim racers that have been around that stuff before.
Yeah, we see that gap to Robert. From Ken Hansen to Mark DeSenza is about 4.5 seconds or so. So a lot of catching up for Mark DeSenza. And again, now Milty, pit stops for 10 to go. Where do you stop? When do you stop, Milty?
Well, it's 45, so it's coming up on 10. You're just about splitting it in half right now. This you either pit now or you stay out until you got nothing left, and hope you don't get caught up with the caution. Yeah, those are your options.
We see this next gaggle of cars here, led by the 18 of Robert Bokum. So this is 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th. They're all lined up and trying to catch cars. I think maybe some of these guys toward the rear might try to do like a splash and go and not take tires and see if they can change their fortunes with all this track position. But no one taking anything yet, and we're inside of 10 laps now. So very interesting situation coming up. Everyone's going to have to stop sometime, Milty.
Yeah, some interesting chatter on the scanner. I was looking for pit stop scanners, but a little back and forth between a couple drivers there. I'll have to see how that pans out with the administration. And we have Nicole is pitting. Signal is out on the scanner. Okay. Nicole is pitting.
So we're following our leaders here to 15, to 5, and to 9. And
6 is pitting, 7.
Nicole peels off and gives up that second position all by herself now. We'll follow her down here because we'll see the rest of the field
69.
stream by on the right side. And the 6 is also in. And so is the 07 coming in. The group of...
Important to signal here. You like to be sneaky, but in stock car racing with cars all around you, maybe if you're in the road race and nobody's around you, then you don't have to signal. But you know what? In these races, you better signal, or the admins will, you'll be sitting in a red trailer. 69 signaling again. A couple cars trying to stay out here a lap or two.
Yeah, it looks like
hoping for a crash.
There's that group that Mark DeSenza pitted from Joe Cutt, Doug, and Guy Petra. They're all still staying out. So we're to 15 and to 9. They're doing another lap here. So Matt Watkins, Ken Hansen have opened up about a 6-second lead now on the rest of the field, Milty. So I think Ken's just saying whatever Matt does, I'm doing. I think he's already committed to that, which is a fine strategy. I mean, he has to beat him out of the pits, or he's not going to beat him, it looks like, Milton.
Yeah, fastest lap
if you're
in
Ken
the
here,
51.5s, and last lap is 52.67. So that 1 lap or 2 laps might not hurt you, but, if you go 3 laps, Nicole's going to get the bit in between her teeth and start to make time up.
Yeah, so we'll see. New tires versus old tires.
Because you're only a second off, right, from your last lap to the fastest lap. So.
And then we see Nicole, who in and out and in front of the leaders. And then we see Doug coming out, and we see Matt and Ken Hansen going by him.
He don't miss much, man. He knows what I'm saying right now. He knows he's still making good enough laps where he can play it that way, unless Nicole just lights him up here, which is what she needs to do, is come out fast.
Well, she did, Milty. She stayed out in front of the leaders, which is what I said you can do here at Indy.
15 and 9 are pitting. Watch the 15, the greatest pitter in FSB history, aside from Damien Gottstilla. What's he going to do right here? He's gonna come in hot.
He's going to come in high. He's going to lock the brakes across
Ken Hansen. And behind the world champion, what's he going to do? And he goes toe-to-toe with the 15. Well, almost hits the inside wall. Looks like they're down the speed there.
And we'll look at Matt Watkins' speed here as he comes down. He's hitting 56, a couple of little blips. But 55 right on the button. I mean, Matt Watkins, that's awesome.
Well, and that pit entry right there was...
And he's in clean. We'll follow Ken down now.
9 did a great job. He was mano a mano. How's his pit crew going to respond here?
Of course, Ken with the benefit, Milty, of the second pit stall. Matt Watkins buried back deep in the field.
Ken a little sheepish into the stall, kind of like I was this week.
And there comes Matt Watkins out. Ken Hansen.
Yeah. He's going to lose some time here.
Yeah, he had to get the
2
gas
tires.
in the car. 2 tires for Ken Hansen, 2 tires for Matt Watkins too, I believe. So let's look at this running order. Guy Petra is shown as our leader right now, Milty. Let's see if we can find Guy.
They don't need that much gas, so why not? You know, and they picked inside because for some reason Indy wears that inside tire is more, and that's a smart move by Ken Hansen to do the same thing Matt did there.
We see Guy Petra's now
Usually you
was
get
our
the
leader.
outsides all the time, but not here.
He's pitting with the lead. Guy Petra's in. Robert Bokum now is our leader. Mike Guidry up to second.
Come on, Guy. Nail this sucker.
There we see, Robert Bokum, it looked like glanced off the outside wall there, and staying in front. And Robert Bokum is our leader with just 5 laps to go here. None of these cars have pitted here. The 18, the 30, the 303, the 77. They're showing as our top 4 right now, Milty. And Robert Bokum, little glance off the wall there, so I don't know if that's going to affect him at all. He's staying out in front right now.
Oh, he's hoping for a caution, I think, because he's just losing time now. But he wasn't really, he was a top 5 car at best, I think, for Apple Collision Centers. He's trying to take a gamble and win here.
Yeah, and the laps are winding down. Just 4 laps to go for this group. They're all staying out. Guy Petra.
Can they save the gas? Oh, boy, Matt Watkins almost gets in the back of Jim Scharf trying to get through traffic. Great save there. Scharf was just trying to get out of the way, but now he's going by Chet. That was close, man. These guys got to pit, don't they?
Well, it looked like Robert may have just briefly brushed the wall again, trying to get into 3 there. And
is he clutching it? That might be what. Well, they got to be if they're trying to make it from here. 23 laps, 20 laps. I don't know.
And we're just seeing these top 4 who have about an 11-second lead on the rest of the field, Milty. So a comfortable lead for these top 4 if they can manage to stay out. 3 laps to go. Mike Guidry battling and taking the looks inside and outside. Robert Bokum's had some damage with the wall. Obviously we don't know how bad that is.
Matt was behind, so Robert might have started clutching before even pit stops came. So if he was clutching this whole run, he might have. He might have found something there.
I think all 4 of these guys have committed to either running out of fuel or finishing 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's strategy,
Voodoo,
I think.
That's Voodoo versus Bokum right there.
That's right. And Mike Guidry taking a look to the inside here of Robert Bokum.
Voodoo is not even first season for them, and Bokum, the multi-year, multi-world champions in every division you can think of.
And now Mike taking a look on the outside.
And Voodoo is going after the upstart Voodoo team is going after it here.
Now Ken Ron taking a look on the inside. Mike Guidry fighting hard on the outside here and getting a good run. Of course, teammate to teammate now. What will we do?
The 15, if he's pitting, he's a fuel-saving zone gun. If he pitted like that and got 2 tires, he had to think that everybody else was going to have to do the same thing.
I think he did, but we're about to get white flag lap here, Milty. There you see the top 4. Throw a blanket around the top 4.
It's got to be
white
close
flag
right
is
now.
out. There we see it waving.
We figured 18, so max. So at 20, they would have had to save fuel from the beginning.
And they're all under power here, so.
Voodoo going down low, trying to pick up Guidry. Will Guidry make the move?
We'll ride with Mike Guidry on this white flag lap here. And let's see what he can do. He's tucked in right behind Robert Bokum here on the backstretch. Ken Ron 3rd, Pat Rouchet, another Voodoo car here in 4th. And Mike taking a look, maybe trying to do an out to in here move. See if he can pull it off as they go down the short chute for the last time.
They're not even, doesn't even look like they're clutching.
Ken Ron moving to the inside. It looks like Robert Bokum is going to win this race.
No, it's
Nice
white
little
flag.
bump from his teammate there.
Checker
It's gonna,
flag.
and
Whoa, look at
Robert
that
Bokum
finish.
gets the win. Mike
The
Idris,
foot is on the outside. Almost got there.
Pat with a great push there at the end, but
Obviously, we were off on the fuel there because
not to be. But just 4 cars made it
they
though.
were
So,
on it.
wow, what a finish!
Guidry with a second and a win this week. Followed up by Pat Rouchet, who's going to get on the podium and in the booth for the first time.
Yeah, that's
Both these
awesome, man.
guys.
Awesome
Ken Run
stuff.
just out of there.
Yeah, let's see it. Let's
great
see.
run for Ken. Let's watch this. Well, I get me another cold one here. And I'll drag
Wow,
these
what a
guys up.
finish! What a finish! Checkered flag out. Looks like Robert Bokum about a car length victory there. And there we see it, Robert crossing the yard of brick, about 2 car lengths ahead of of everyone else.
It's been so long since I run one of these. I thought for sure like you can only go about 12, 13 for a World Cup car.
Look
but
at that!
man, they made 20 laps with these.
Look at that finish for third, Melty, between the 77 and 303. I mean, there's maybe just a little chunk of sheet metal between them.
Well, we talked very little about Pat really all night, except that he was running clean there with Alan too, and all of a sudden they followed the master right there, and well, that was a good move for sure. Look at how close they are. That's about 3 inches.
Yeah, and you see 1,000th of a second separating third and fourth. Pat and Mike getting a 2 and 3 finish for Voodoo Motorsports, pushing out Boca Motorsports, who finished 1-4. So great finish amongst the teams. Matt Watkins, I'm sure disappointed if he finished the best of all the cars that pitted. He finished in 5th.
Let me grab these guys.
And how about a run by the 43 car there, Milty? Rick Bisconner fighting back for a 6th place finish. Alan, the last Voodoo racer, finished in 7th. So Voodoo, 3 cars in the top 7. Great job. Nicole also was a pitting car. Ken Hansen was battled back, got a top 10. Joe Cutt had a good car as well, brought it home top 10 as well. And Doug Palmer, I'm sure, disappointed with the 13th points business. He had a quality car all night long as well. What a great finish. And why Milty gathers up our finishers. You see the rest of the running order there, and some thrilling finish amongst the top 4. They're just less than 0.2 of a second separating the top 4 after all those caution laps. It was probably nice for those guys to be racing there at the end. So we're seeing if we can get Mike up here. But we got Robert and Pat so far. So Robert, you knew this was going to happen, and you said that you shouldn't even be talked about as a possible winner, but here you are. So tell us how lucky you are.
Yeah, it was gas mileage. I mean, I could run. I was a decent, definitely top 5 car, top 3, maybe top 2 on the long run, but just made the decision to try for it. But definitely got to give a shout out to Apple Collision Center. I know they're listening. Willie's cheering me on. It's a good thing he don't have any hair because he probably pulled it out there. I wonder if he's gonna make it or not. But
I thought you guys were running out of gas, man.
man, I want to give a shout out to Voodoo, man. And guys worked great with me. It was funny because their cars look so much alike, and I kept my screen on the gas mileage screen. So the whole time I'm telling 77, hey, be easy. I think we can make it. And hell, it's a damn 30 car behind me. So I hope they was talking to each other about that. But hey, I appreciate them. They could have easily run over me, but like I said, I was afraid to clutch it because I seen Ken clutch it one time and it jumped out from under. So I was just trying to roll out and be easy on the throttle. I mean, I didn't have, like I said, this ain't a good track for me, but gas gloves.
Yeah, I was figuring 18, so y'all pulled out 20 there.
Yeah, that was
impressive.
some awesome stuff.
Yeah.
Well, boys, I told you, I'm waiting to talk to you, so I get 2 out of 3. It's pretty good, damn good.
It's a voodoo party here, man.
Yeah, Mike, you had a couple looks there at the end. What were you thinking?
I was thinking going around, but then I looked at my fuel and I was like, well, I might not make it, so I might as well just stay behind them.
You were worried that if you got out front, you might run out?
Yeah, I only, after turn 4, I would drop down like 1 lap less than what we had to go.
Yeah.
And Pat actually bumped me to the finish.
Yeah, I started missing down the front straightaway.
You were starting to miss a little bit.
Oh yeah, I was.
Yeah, as soon as Pat hit me in the back, that's when I started missing.
Yeah, and Pat, you were in the catbird seat there amongst the top 4 there, and you finally saw your opening. I know you were going to be pushing Mike no matter what move he made, and finally made it, and thousandth of a second, buddy.
Yeah, first off, congrats to Robert, but it was Robert, man. He kept telling us to be easy on the fuel so we could make it, and then Mike kept saying he was going to run out. I was going to stick with him no matter what. We were just trying to finish up front, man. That was very fun, guys.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was awesome to see.
Awesome.
And,
both
great
you guys,
battle there. Also, Ken Ron with a great run as well. Robert, your teammate there, helped you salvage some extra team points there with a battle to the end there. So 2 against 2 there worked out pretty good.
Yeah, it was all about just trying to work together. I mean, we needed all 4 cars to stay there and do what we could do. And I seen them back there; they were too wide, and I kept telling Ken, "Tell them to quit doing that. Let's go see them. don't get the caution, let them all pit, you know." But
Yeah.
it was they worked great together. I mean, like I said, I was trying to talk them through, you know, just be easy and save the gas. And
well, in the broadcast, in the broadcast, we were so, we were catching the cars signaling to pit, so we were focusing on them, and we figured because Matt, pit and got fuel in 2 tires, and he was looking pretty good there, I thought, but we didn't even pay attention to you guys except for earlier in the race, then all of a sudden it's like, wait a minute. I don't think they're going to pit.
Topped off. We all went topped off. That's what saved us.
Yeah,
we all went topped off.
And then once I seen, I told Mark, I said, hey, you should go ahead and pit early because he had a pit. But then once I seen Nicole and Mark pit, and I seen how far we was ahead of them when they were going down pit road, we passed them in. I knew we could give up quite a bit more, so I kind of backed it down a little bit more. And them guys did a great job as far as being able to judge on where I was backing off to be able to work with me and do that.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a great
finish. That's an impressive
awesome
as a win because I've seen you just like a dominant car or a car, Robert, that's been in the back. But then you just reinvent yourself in this race. And I heard you when you were talking before the race. You was telling part of the truth there. You knew you weren't quite. You're not where you're used to feeling confidence-wise when you're entering a race because you're a driver like you is usually thinking I'm going to win this race but then you reinvented yourself and managed to message these guys during the race while you're driving and let them know, that, or you guys are on TeamSpeak or however you did it, and work together. And you weren't even teammates, but you all knew it was self-beneficial to all of you, to get yourself in that position. That's pretty amazing.
Yeah, if we got to racing, I don't think we could have done it, but like I said, I was talking to Ken, and I was able, down the straightaways. I was able to kind of text him. Like I said, for a while there, Pat was probably thinking, "What the hell is he talking to me for? I ain't
Yeah,
behind him."
that ain't easy.
The
Yeah,
I
cars
was
look so
behind you
much
in the start.
alike.
I
dropping
was
one
behind you in the
yeah.
start,
hand.
and Mike came in.
Well, that's what I seen, and then I went off the F2 screen and went to the F3 and kind of just kept watching the gas. And like I said, a couple times
They
it
probably
goes to
start
run.
feeling you, going, you know what? We know what he's doing. You know, he ain't pitting, he ain't signaling, he's pitting. So maybe we ought to try that too. That guy kind of finds his way to the front, so that's pretty smart. That's smart fishing right there for you guys. For Voodoo Motorsports, that's the first podium. 2 cars on the podium, and first time on the in the booth live Friday night internet TV. That's pretty cool, man.
Yeah, it's very cool. I'm very happy. I'm very proud of you guys. You did great.
Yeah, they look like I said. I mean, they look like pros up there. But I didn't want to clutch in front of them because I thought by clutching it would just throw. You know, it's hard to judge off somebody clutching. So I figured rolling out, and then I guess it was the 30 car. He did a great job on starting to judge while I was rolling out, and
Without
I give
hitting
a
you,
shout out to
yeah.
him, and shout out to my other teammate Ken. Man, he did a great job.
Yeah, all 4 of
Ken
you.
usually don't go for the gas mileage, so when he decided to do it, I thought, man, it's gonna be we're gonna do this, you know. I think we can do it. I think we can. It's like the little blue train, you know.
So, Mike, you won a race this week, and now you get a second place. It's been a pretty good week for you.
Yeah, it's been a good week. I'm happy with it.
Got anybody you want to shout out to?
I want to shout out to Alan Myers, man. He had a great car too. He got behind me. I kind of got loose. He hit me in the back and kind of messed his car up, I think. He had a real good ride.
Yeah,
he
you
did.
guys, that team is really getting stout, man. You
I
guys
want
are
to shout
doing a
out to
great
Pat
job.
for helping me finish.
Yeah, that was an awesome little bump there at the end, and it got not
That
only
wasn't no
did
bump. That was a slam.
yeah, it was. We were riding with Mike, and we felt it. The viewers felt that jarring blow, but we also saw that it got you that 1/100th of a second faster as well,
Yes, it did.
which is the difference between you talking to us and you wondering what could have been.
Well,
That's
now we got to go to the
that's
shop and fix this car for next week.
that's
Hey, we
close
fixed
as
that
the
front bumper.
alligator hair right there.
Well, guys, Robert, again, congrats. One of your worst, one of your least maybe desirable tracks, but you get the win, and that's why you're a champion, because you can win on whatever it takes to do, you do, and very impressive stuff, man. And boys, I'm real proud of you. You stuck to it, stayed out of trouble. There was a lot of cautions early on, easy to lose the focus, but you stayed out of trouble and brought it home, and that's some good stuff, man. Good to see. Hope to see it again before the end of the year. Maybe one more position up for you, Mike.
Hope so. Did y'all see my spin out?
Oh yeah, we saw that spin
Oh
out.
man, that was Danny Sullivan right there, man. Watch the broadcast, man. You'll see it.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to do that.
Oh,
I
yeah.
went crazy because it was like Danny Sullivan. It was like my dad used to talk about. Being aware of where you were and getting on the brakes, getting off the brakes, getting on the brakes, getting off the brakes, then getting on the gas. He just drove Joey Chitwood stunt show shit right there, man. That was really cool.
Yeah, I definitely want to give a shout out to Voodoo. I thought they did a great job tonight. They came to me. I kind of seen them come together as a
You
team.
gotta watch that
That
spin
made
he
a
did,
difference.
Robert.
I
Yeah,
seen
you
it.
were-
Don't
you
forget,
was
I watched the
driving, man.
broadcast. Greg
Oh,
gave me
okay.
a shout out. And like I said, I do want to give another shout out to Alpha Collision Center. I don't know if just by putting the logo on, I've just had some good luck this year, but they do a lot. They're great guys. I mean, Willie is home with his
Sponsoring.
wife
Yep.
and 2 girls, and they're watching this, so I want to give all them a shout out and tell them I appreciate cheering me on.
Yeah, and also a shout out to Jeff Hale as well, guys.
Definitely.
Yeah, he's gotten raw deal there. Got a blowed up computer, I guess. That's what we, I guess, in sim racing would be considered like a blown motor. And so
lost
he's,
sponsorship.
Yeah, we miss him, man.
yeah, we're
Well,
gonna
Get
see if
back
we
on
can do
track.
something for him,
I
man,
didn't.
and get him back
Yeah,
on the
well,
track.
I didn't want to say anything because I wasn't sure, but I'm about 85% sure the deal's gonna come through where I'll be able to get him a computer and send it to him. And
Oh,
Jeff's a
that'd
good
be
guy,
awesome,
man.
dude.
He enjoys doing this. He's a hardworking guy, and he works to be able to do this. So the guys went through neck surgery this year, and he's showed right back up. So I know how it is. Have to come home and work and worry about your computer. And I think this is a couple of times this happened to him. So I'm definitely going to do what I can. And Jeff, if you're listening, man, we miss you. Want you back on track, and
Absolutely.
keep your
Bitch.
fingers crossed. And I should have something working for you in the next week or two, brother.
Bitchin'.
Absolutely. So again, thanks guys. Wrapping it up now. Pro Cup Series racing on Wednesday nights. Next broadcast. So come and check it out. FSBRacing.com. So thanks a lot, guys. Congrats, Robert.
Thank you guys for broadcasting.
See you next week.